Okay, so here we're going to talk about kind of the one of the most common areas that we see affected by prenatal alcohol exposure. So executive functioning is the frontal region of our brain, and it is the last to develop and often the most impacted by alcohol. And so often people with FASD will struggle with issues like planning, predicting, organizing, prioritizing, sequencing, initiating, and following through, as well as difficulty setting goals, complying with contracts, being on time, or adhering to a schedule. So that's a lot. Those are a lot of things. And so basically, we just need to understand that their brain isn't going to know the plan, isn't going to know the future. Okay, so an easy way to kind of understand that is that anything that is abstract, not visible right here, right now, and in front of us, doesn't really exist to them. And so anything in the future, anything that's not written down, is it's not going to be always present in their brain. And so they might think, oh, I've got nothing to do, and so they'll go do other things, and then they'll show up late and go, oh, I'm here, and not understand why you're upset about them being late, when really, it's just that their brain didn't tell them that this is happening, and this is how you plan for it, and these are all the things you need to do before in order to get there, and how long it's going to take, right? And so once we understand that that can be a deficit for people with FASD, then we know where they need support, and it could be in small ways, right? So really simple things that we can do to make a difference for them. And I'm just gonna, here's what we have for what can we do in an employment setting. So we can be very clear, use simple, easy to understand language, utilize lists, write it down, write everything down as much as you can, but we always remember we want it to be very simple and clear when it's written down. We don't want to overwhelm people with every single task for 3 weeks all handed to them at once. That can be too much, and they can lose parts of it. And so what we really want to do is recognize that they're going to struggle with some organization. So at the beginning of each day, or the beginning of the first part of the shift, you can hand them one list, and then you can say, when you're done, come back and I will let you know what's next, right? So break it down for them, simplify it, and then it's just so much easier for them because their brain isn't really able to break it down and understand all of the sequence, right? What needs to be done first, second, third, in what order. So if we have it written down, it's much simpler for them. Also utilize technology, right? So sending them the list via text, that can be really helpful, or email, whichever they are most comfortable with and can use most effectively, right? So ask them, hey, what do you like? What do you prefer? Do you prefer text or email? I'll send you the list of the first things we need done. Send me a text when you're done and I'll send you the next list. So you could have all the lists in your phone ready to go, and you might use the same list every single morning, but you just keep sending it to them so that they know this is what I do at this time, right? And you can even put times next to each thing so that it kind of helps them to stay on track, right? And be very consistent about kind of, you know, how you deliver things, right? So don't switch from text to email without letting them know, because they might not check their email, right? So we want to be very consistent so they know what to expect from us and make it as simple as possible. And lots of repetition is really good for their brain. So if you can set it up so that their job duties are the same each day, it's just going to be so much easier, right? After a while, they'll be able to just do it because they've done it so many times. It becomes a kind of a repetitive habit for them. So that's the strategies for executive functioning difficulties. That's it for that one.